This episode is sponsored by Zenro Clothing Co. Pick up your tees and or accessories at zenroclothingco.com and be sure to use offer code SOCRATES at checkout for 20% off select items. Also, if you're not into spending the money, just check out the Zenro radio playlist. zenroclothingco.com, music for your everyday. This episode also sponsored by The Portian Bakery. If you're located in the Portian area of Scarborough, Toronto, be sure to check out The Portian Bakery, say what's up to Arville, and pick up a donut or two. Baked daily, crafted with love. This episode also sponsored by Podbean. Podbean is the podcasting platform of choice. It's the one that me and Vish use, and is great, you know, if you're looking to start that DIY podcast yourself. Definitely check out Podbean. Use the link podbean.com/SocraticGamers and gain 1 month of unlimited podcasting for free. Test it out, build that content. Anyone could podcast, right, Vish?
Yep.
Start a podcast and get your ideas out there. All right, enjoy the episode. Okay, so last week, we missed last week, but The Age of Disclosure came out last Friday, and I think that that's like a huge topic that is like super important, but I don't know how you felt watching it, because I tried to get like Tara to watch it, and she was like, yeah, it's okay, but like I understand that aliens are real, but I don't like what do we do with this? You know, like what's the point of talking about this kind of thing? And like my idea behind it was like, it's sort of like you're all just pouring paint into a thing. Okay, so like if I bring up aliens and you're like, oh, that's not real, then it's like, okay, you just poured it into the let's stop talking about this category. But then you're like, oh, aliens, oh, tell me more about that, or like what's going on with that. And then it's like, okay, you're pouring it into the interest category, you know. And like each individual is really just like a drop in the bucket of the sea of perspective, like social understanding, you know. It's like it's like if you're like, oh, the earth is flat, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden so you're like, oh, the earth is flat, and then everyone's like, oh yeah, let's not talk about that. Like, yeah, I'm sure it's flat. Like you take it as a given, you know? And then there's going to be no change, right? Because she's like, well, what change can you do? And I'm like, nothing, but collectively we can be like, oh yeah, that's a real thing. Oh, we should probably look into that. And then the voting comes in, like the voting booth, and you're like, oh, this dude's like supporting aliens, you know, like the disclosure of like secret technologies, and you're like, oh, I'm down for that. And then you like check off that thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where I'm coming from, but I just don't know what do you think? Like, is there any change that could be like, what's the point of watching the doc, basically?
It seems like, because you said a lot of these things were already said before, right?
Yeah. Can you check the levels? Sorry. Or maybe it's just me.
No, it's fine.
All right, cool. I should turn down these. Okay, yeah. So you're saying?
That a lot of these things were, like when I was watching it, a lot of these things were already, you had told me all these things, so it's been going on for a couple of years, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So it's just a compilation of all those things in one movie kind of thing. And it comes down to the same thing where, yeah, this is what they're doing. We'll just wait till see if this happens, kind of thing.
Yeah, right. Okay. So like, I agree. And now there's like a lot of movement happening right now where all these people are starting to push for like laws being changed around this. And then bring up the interest of like, because unless you get the people interested, you can't get the government interested. I think they mentioned that in the movie, right? Like as soon as the New York Times thing came out, then like Congress can get involved, because then you're like, okay, well, people are asking about this, so we should probably look into it. You know what I'm saying? And like, I think that was the point of the movie. It's because a lot of people are like, oh, well, you didn't talk about this, you didn't talk about this, you didn't talk about this. But then I was watching an interview about with the director on Joe Rogan, and one thing he was saying is like, if you jump too far in the deep end, like you start talking about like orbs visiting you in your house, or like astral projection, or like psionics, people like, that's so far out of the realm of what I'm thinking of that like I'm just going to tune out. But just by like introducing it drip by drip, he's talking about making it like a second like a follow up to this, where then he starts talking about like psionics and like all this stuff, and like it's like maybe like that was like the benefit of it, you know, because it's like it felt like you said, it's like everything we already knew, nothing like groundbreaking. So is it just like this was
Yeah,
the
nothing new, nothing like the.
public?
It's the same videos. Nothing was right. Like a lot of these videos
Yeah,
were already out there, right?
exactly,
There's
exactly. But
no new videos. The same videos that we've known, like we still need more evidence. It doesn't the videos don't really explain a lot of things, right?
totally, totally, totally. But the fact that they're talking about it on camera is the big thing. You have all these like government officials, and
Mm-hmm.
then I was like hearing other podcasts about it, like Marco Rubio is really big right now. I don't really pay attention too much to like American politics, but like everyone's talking about like how he's so like in the news, and he's like one of those people that people will listen to. So him coming out and like openly stating it is like, oh, there's something to this. And I think that that's the point of the documentary. It's like once you see it, you're like, oh, what else is there?
Mm-hmm.
And then when you look into it, you're like, oh, dude, it's unraveling and it's just crazy. Because I think the real truth about it is like when you really listen to all of this, it has a lot to do with the Nazis, which is crazy. Like you're like, dude, that sounds insane, right? But
Mm-hmm.
like it really sounds like they brought over like through Operation Paperclip, right? Like NASA was started with the Nazi scientists, but then I'm listening to this new podcast about it, and that's why. And Russia also took Nazis to build a space program. So like
Mm-hmm.
Russia and U.S. took Nazis and like their understanding to build the space program. So it's like when you get into that, you're like, I thought those were the enemy. Like what's going on? You know, like then you're like, wait, you brought in Nazis? You know what I mean? So like there's so much unraveling that can happen in this thing that like it being so basic of what like it's so introductory. You know what I mean? Like we're like, well, it's the same thing. But I think
Yeah.
it had to be that way because the truth is too shocking.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like how, like do you think like or no, you think that people would totally be like, yeah, yeah, totally Nazis, it makes sense, yeah. Like I think when you start talking about like Nazis
I think there's a see,
developing, you're
but
like,
the
what the
problem,
wait, what?
yeah, 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 the problem with that is, yeah, it's an easy way to just say that there were Nazis, but I think it makes more sense. Like if you probably look at the whole story, it's like there were scientists. They just happened to be Germans at the time, or happened to be part of that thing, right? But they're not really Nazis in
No,
ideology.
they were the top Nazis. Like they're the Werner von Braun, I think his name is.
Hmm.
He was like one of the main ones that they brought over, and he was like notorious for killing the Jews that were too slow in the factory. So he's like, if you're slow, I'm gonna kill you. So it's
Okay.
like, no, you were like a Nazi, bro.
Hmm.
And then and then the fact that you like brought them over. One thing this new podcast I haven't finished it yet, but he wrote Secret Machines with Tom DeLonge, and what he's saying is that like when you come over as like a Nazi, you're like, okay, yeah, the war's gone, but you're still secretly thinking about your past ideology.
Yeah, they
Like,
probably would keep an eye on that kind of person, right? I don't know if they would
yeah,
necessarily let him free in that sense.
no, no,
He's
yeah, it was like you're working,
he's working
but
just as a scientist doing scientist things, right? Not doing the other stuff that he may have
no,
been
no,
about,
of course,
right?
like
Yeah.
not overt, not overt, but like one thing that they were talking about was like secret communication between the ones in Russia and the ones in U.S. Like
Hmm.
they were still talking, and of course you'd be talking. Like if you and I were part of the same group and we lost the war, like really just think about it from our perspective. If you and I had same ideology, we're like, oh, capitalism's bad, okay, and then we lost the war. It's not like we're gonna be like capitalism's good. We're like capitalism's still bad. I just have to do this because I'll be killed if I don't do this. And then you're
Yeah.
like slowly building your like plan to switch over one
Hmm.
day.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you're not just gonna let it go. You're going to like secretly keep it in the back of your mind and like figure out a way to like still win.
Right.
Like would you not?
Sure.
Like I feel like I would do that too. Like if I
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
believed in this thing, I'm not gonna be like, yeah, all of a sudden like let's say the Catholics did win, but you're like, oh, now everyone has to be Catholic. It's like, no, I still don't believe in Catholicism, bro.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you're not just gonna change me just because like you won the war.
No,
And
no,
then
no, I
secretly
understand that.
gather
Yeah,
with,
but
you
then
know
I
what I
don't
mean?
know if they would give him the same freedoms, right?
No, definitely not. But
Would they be
yeah,
able to actually send out communication?
I don't know. I don't know. But they were saying
Right.
like that there was some like talk in like continued talk. And then like when you
Yeah, but
look at what
like you
Putin
have to think about it,
shown,
like what do they again? Like that was where you have to look more into where what does that mean by continued talk? like would their maybe they can think that they're writing letters to send out, but maybe they were watching
They're
these
being
people, so they would
intercepted. Yeah,
yeah
maybe.
intercept
Yeah,
those letters, right?
yeah, yeah. And yeah, for sure, for sure. But like when you look at what Putin recently said, he's like, "We're about the denazification of the world," and you're like, why'd you bring that up? And then now you see that UFOs are really tied to Nazism, and you're like, okay, it's weird. It's weird
Hmm.
that you brought that up. It's weird that like this has a tie to like what they found is that the Nazis were working on the things that we see, like the bell. There's like it's called like the Nazi bell or something, and it's identical to the UFOs that like the shape of the UFOs that people are seeing now. So it's like okay, somebody just like they just scooped them up and then they just started to like continue that project in secret. You know what I mean? You know what's really crazy too? Do you know when the CIA got founded?
No.
Roswell crash. And I'm like, that's weird. That's like some Men in Black stuff. Like literally, like Roswell happened, and then they formed the CIA, and the CIA, the predecessor of the CIA was the OSS. So like that secret spy, uh, like communications kind of thing, like basically like intelligence manipulation, right? And it's like that has its ties to it too. And then you find out in the legacy. Do you get to the part of the legacy program and how the CIA is running things?
Yeah, I heard about them talk about the legacy program. I think I went past
He
that
broke it down,
section.
right? Yeah, okay, okay. And he's like the CIA is in charge, and then you have like the U.S. Air Force is the one in charge of like picking things up, and then the Department of Energy is the one that like manages like the actual component because, and then you have the contractor who like they ship it out to like
Hmm.
reverse engineer for them. So you're like, oh, you just broke down the thing. At the top of the pyramid is the CIA,
Hmm.
and you're like, well, the CIA was formed during Roswell when we had the first alien crash here. So it's like
Right.
is that when Men in Black started? Like, if you watch Men in Black the
Hmm.
movie,
Right.
remember when the UFO landed and then like Men in Black began from that day?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
You remember that Tommy Lee Jones? He like Will Smith was like, "Oh, you gave that man some flowers," because like when they landed, he gave him like flowers,
Hmm.
and then like they formed the Men in Black. It's like, is Men in Black CIA? Like, is that movie just an analogy for CIA? Because a lot of people are
Maybe.
saying like what they make in movies now are um
It
like
doesn't say that this. I just did a quick,
yeah.
just to confirm it. When was
Oh, the CIA
Roswell?
thing.
Yeah.
1947, I think.
Was it Roswell was 1947? I know that was like
Yeah, it was
around the year
two
that
years
the
after.
after the war ended, right?
Yeah, 2 years after the war.
Was yeah, same year.
1947 CIA and 1947 Roswell.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So there you go. It's like, bro, this is all like lining up in a weird way, and this is the crazy part. It's like you just Google that, right?
Mhm.
So like we didn't have access to information at the level we do now. And that makes sense as to why they're able to hide things. Like nobody's gonna look into this. Even if you like pieced it together, you'd be a psycho in your like bedroom with like the strings connecting everywhere, and you're like, oh my god, this touches this. But like you just went like, hey, well, when were the 2 years? Oh wow, they line up. And it's like, I don't think you can hide it anymore.
Right.
You just dropped it on Amazon, it became like the number one Amazon thing. So you're like, okay, well, that's the internet again.
Hmm.
Like it's almost like secrets just can't be maintained. Did you see that thing where they put Epstein's logs, they time stamped it, and they showed him texting with one of the senators
Oh yeah,
while
yeah,
they
yeah, yeah.
were
I saw
like,
that.
dude, you have time. You know what I mean? Like, bro, you did that?
Hmm.
That was all internet. You just like timestamp here, we're gonna put this here, and you're like, oh look, as he messages, oh there's the response. And you can watch the dialogue happen in real time, and you're like we're in the age of truth, bro. You know?
Hmm.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think happens after this? Like, obviously, they're gonna keep pushing for disclosure and stuff, but
I
like,
don't know
do
how
you
it
think?
ended yet. What did they say at the end of the movie? Did they?
Oh, we're either gonna blow ourselves up or we're gonna work together. It's literally the plot
What
of
do you mean?
Arrival.
Well, I don't think we're gonna blow ourselves up. I don't think that makes sense.
No, no, no. Like not blow ourselves up. It's like um, because they showed that the nuclear bomb, once it goes off, you have the UFOs to like stop it. And then
Hmm.
on the podcast with Joe Rogan, he's like, the only time they'll actually unveil all of their UFO technology is if a nuclear bomb is sent, because that's game over. We need to stop it. Did you
Maybe
get to
that
the
is
part where
the.
like, yeah,
No, I didn't get to that part. Uh,
no, no, it was in Joe Rogan's interview, but did you get to the part where they talked about how the nuke was shot and then they saw the UFO go like zap, 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 and then like it decommissioned the nuclear bomb in flight?
yeah, it was already a decom. It wasn't an active missile, right? Like it
But
wasn't.
or I don't know, but like
The way that he
the
said
fact
it,
that
that I remember, yeah, that it was just a like a just a missile with no
wait,
actual
wait,
active material in there. That they were
oh,
testing the missile.
right. So it's like, but you have technology that can like stop it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, he
who
did
cares
it
about the
say it
missile? I'm
stopped
just
it? I
saying,
don't. I can't
yeah,
remember if he said.
it said it shut it down, and I'm like, okay, well, you have like your ultimate weapon to stop us,
Hmm.
right? And then on Joe Rogan, the guy was saying like, the only time you'd show your hands, like what cards you have, like your technology, is if it came down to like we're all just gonna nuke each other. So that like puts me at ease because I'm like, okay, well, there's some mechanism stopping us from doing that, but at the same time, it's like what is that, bro? Like
Yeah, I don't know. That sounds a bit like if it's true, sure, but that's then you're like giving it to someone else to protect you versus like let's not do
no, they
that.
all have it. No, no, they all have it. No, no, they all have it.
Oh, like we have that
Russia,
technology.
yeah, yeah, Russia. So what? At the end of the movie, you'll see it. It's like it's. Did you get to like the Secret War? It's called the chapter's called Secret War.
No.
Okay, that one's crazy. So it's Russia, China, and the U.S. in like a high stakes game of we all have UFOs, but
Hmm.
like nobody's going to show their hand of UFOs until it's like too late. Until like one of you guys shoots like a nuke, and then okay, you need a. And the reason why it's like you're gonna blow each other up is because if you have that technology of like instantaneous travel, you can instantaneously drop a nuke,
Hmm.
or you can instantaneously destroy a city. So it's like either we're going to work together with this technology, or we're going to blow ourselves up
Hmm.
with this technology.
Right.
And it's
Yeah.
like that was the message of the movie. Like everyone's talking about disclosure, but like if you really like pay attention, he kept saying that it's like this is our moment to decide. We're literally at a crossroads. Are we going to keep going down this war path, or are we going to like use the technology for the common good?
Hmm.
What do you think? Like, do you think what direction? Because it's just time will just tell. Like, do you think that this will push the tide in favor of like full disclosure? We're all going to work together. Oh, that we've been strung along for so long.
I
You know?
think. Well, that's what I hope for. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I hope for too, bro. Because
Yeah.
it's like, okay, so you all
Like
have it,
like we have to have cooler heads that prevail, right? Like you just can't be
right?
crazy. That's just so like
No,
why?
I know. No, that's what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah.
And like, okay, so let's bring it into like Stephen Greer right now. So Stephen Greer has been talking about the momentum that's been happening, and there's a lot of Green Berets and like Army Rangers who are defecting. So basically, they've been working on these black programs. They just didn't know they were working on the black program.
Hmm.
Okay, like it's like okay, you're stationed here. You should have to protect this. You don't know what's going on inside. You just have to protect it. Okay, and what he's saying is that right now there's an operation going on to infiltrate all of those bases and then put them offline. Like he's working on this right now. He can't say more than that. He's just like we're working to stop this like cover up.
Hmm.
And it's like that might be the only way to do it. Because if the president's not in charge, and it's like a CIA program, because
Hmm.
what they're saying, right? It's like revolving employees. We don't need to tell you everything because like you're gonna be gone 8 years maximum.
Right.
You know. So, and that's why they're like, oh, you don't have a need to know. Even the president doesn't have a need to know. But you're like, but the
Hmm.
president runs the country, bro. You know. And that's what they're trying to say in this movie. Like this goes so deep, right? So it's like you really have to think who's running the world it's pretty obvious it's the bankers. Like I think the World Bank is the lady who was working on the 9/11 commission. Remember, she was working on like the fall of the oh man, Susan something. I talked to her before. Remember,
Yeah.
she's in the World Bank and she broke it down in that podcast with like Danny Jones, and
Mm-hmm.
she's also on Tucker Carlson. She just broke it down, and she's like, the World Bank is at the top of this thing, and I think that the World Bank does because the World Bank is technically the USA. Like it has like ties, like lots of ties. So like maybe the CIA is working in conjunction with the World Bank to like manage the finances of the world to keep us like essentially debt enslaved. And then it has like its UFO program.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing that makes sense to me. Cause like when you have was it like $2 trillion of like missing funds that they talked about for the US? Like they failed their audit and they're like, oh, we missed like $2 trillion. Like where'd that go?
Mm-hmm.
But it's like these black budget programs, these like beyond black budget programs.
Right.
So it's like, is that what's going on? And then you find that out, you're like, dude, are we being screwed over? You know?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
No, but I think that does make sense. I've heard about that. You can't if it's a black budget program, they don't. That's where it
No,
probably is
beyond
going.
black, beyond black. So like the black budget program, you still have to like have a kind of a tie to it.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be like we're gonna put in $5 billion towards like employee housing, but that employee housing is actually something else,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that's like still on kind of a budget, but lost money is beyond black budget, where it's like we don't even know where that went.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've listened to like CIA dudes talk about this, and they're saying like they name it something stupid, but then they use the money for something else. So like the study of aquatic gender on like mammals
Sure.
and their
Yeah. Yeah.
reproductive system. Like he literally said that that was one of the lines, and nobody's gonna look into it. They're like, oh, it's dumb, but okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But like that's actually funding like the war machine.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But then Beyond Black is like we just lost it,
Mm-hmm.
which is what happened in like 9/11, and then like they crashed the planes into the towers and they're like, "Oh, well, the records were in that building. I don't know what to
Right.
do."
Mm-hmm.
You know? If it really feels like we're being like kind of like strung along, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Do you feel that or like
I mean, this is we know that their $2 trillion um what is it called? Like their defense budget or whatever it's called, right? I don't think it's called
yeah, yeah,
defense now. It's called
Department of War?
yeah.
You're crazy, bro. Like why are you calling it so intense?
Yeah.
But okay, I was listening. Okay, wait, wait. So like I was actually asked. So like going back to the thing about like why do you care about this thing? It's like because the UFO thing is tied into so many things, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you find out the level of corruption, it's like and like the UFO thing is like the tipping point of more corruption that you find,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like if it's not UFOs, bro, it's the Epstein files. It's not the Epstein files. It's like the JFK assassination. But it turns out they're all kind of linked, which is insane. You're like, it sounds like JFK was murdered in association with this UFO topic as well. That's what like they're starting to find out. And it's like, so the crux of everything, all of our problems are UFO related. Even energy, bro. Like, why do you have to pay gas prices if you have like 0 point energy? Makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? So like, that's why I care about it. Yeah, and like, like Tara's like, oh well, what are you gonna do about it? Right? Nothing, but you can shift like it's called like ontological shift, like our worldview shifts
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
collectively. You know what I mean? You're like, you don't have to shock everyone like, oh, UFO's real. It's just like just start having the conversation, bro. And then like people start to be like, well, what's going on, bro? Maybe I'll make some different choices. Maybe I'll vote for
Mm-hmm.
this person. Maybe I'll like put my money in this instead of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And like even
No,
like
no, nothing wrong with
housing.
that.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah, I think you just have to, even if we're wrong about the whole UFO thing, like, let's find out what it is, right? That's the other thing.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. It's like, okay, maybe it's not aliens, bro, but why is there missing defense budget money? Why is there like crafts that you can see?
Mm-hmm.
and nobody knows who's running the NDAs that people are signed behind. Because like, I
Right.
can't speak because of NDA. Who's NDA, bro?
Mm-hmm.
You know. So there's only one person who, um, well, no, he's still against the NDA. Yeah, I was gonna say David Grush because he's like, "Oh, I'll speak to you in a skiff." So remember that, like, during the hearing when he was like, "Oh, if we go in a skiff, I'll tell you everything I know."
Yeah.
So years later, you're like, oh, I'm sure they went into a skiff and talked about it. He's still trying to get the skiff meeting because
Mm-hmm.
people who are working for these Congress people are blocking it. And
It's a
what they
legacy
were saying is
program, right?
it's a legacy program. He said it's the staffers. It's not even the Congress person. It's the
I don't
ones
know
who
if
like
this
book
is
their
this was real.
meetings.
I saw some clip of I don't know the other guy, George Knapp, and this other guy that does the podcast. What's his name
Jeremy
again?
Corbell. Yeah, yeah. Love
Yeah.
that guy. Yeah.
Wasn't
Follows
they
me on Instagram.
saying?
I mean, no, Twitter. Yeah, yeah.
Wasn't he saying? I don't know. I like it's just a clip, but I don't know if it's a bad clip. That there that Lou Zondo was part of the legacy program.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, but they don't say that in the movie. That's what they were saying.
That so this is where a lot of people in the UFO community are like, you didn't tell the whole truth.
Yeah.
So like, but then I'm watching the interview with Joe Rogan, and
Mm.
I'm like, yeah, because it's too crazy, bro. If like you
No, no,
get
no.
into like some zones,
I get that
oh
part with orbs and stuff, but I think like him, like simple things of
oh,
not
if he just says
him.
like he was in the legacy program.
Yeah, I don't see how that would have been
Oh, I see what you're saying.
crazy.
I see what you're saying. No, he was a part of investigating the legacy program. So Arrow, what they put in charge, it's like it's like a branch. So they were trying to figure out what this legacy program was. So he was in charge of looking into the legacy program, and then like he figured it out. And then that's when he was trying to tell the people, but like it's all a part of it. So even Arrow was a part of the legacy program because they set themselves up to like look. It's like if we're working together, I'm like, oh, just put this person in charge of it because they're gonna go nowhere anyways. Just build like everyone's asking for like a UFO program, so let's just create one. A
Hmm.
UFO discovery program, so let's just create one. You see what I'm saying? So it's like they created it themselves and put him in charge of it.
But then that's why would like it's just a legacy program then. He's part of the legacy
Okay,
program, right?
like he wasn't like sworn into the legacy program. So like the legacy program
Mm.
created
I guess it's a
it.
hard story to tell. That doesn't make sense, right? A
Yeah,
legacy
right. Like you're like,
program
well, why are you
cars
no?
created
So
a
so like
program
its
to
own
look into
program.
the
Yeah,
legacy program, right?
exactly, exactly, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly,
Seems like a
exactly.
psyop right there.
What do you mean?
I'm
Oh,
just
like
saying.
this is all fake?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
True. Yeah. So like it would muddy the storyline because then you're like,
But
wait, I
that's
don't get
what's
it. You were
happening
a
though
part of this,
now,
right?
right? It seems like it's like that's what I'm hearing from those clips where it's like, is that side now? They're not telling the whole story. It's muddying the water for this movie.
He needed the director needed a very coherent and simple story for people to get interested.
Mm.
Because the UFO program is so convoluted that like you couldn't tell it correctly
Mm.
unless you dumbed it down,
Right.
right? But like that's basically it. So like Arrow Arrow is a legacy program creation. It wasn't like it wasn't like the legacy programs that we're going to create Arrow. It was like the government was like we're going to create Arrow. Turns out that the legacy program created Arrow. So when they put Lou in charge, they were kind of like stonewalling him, like, oh, you can't find that information out. Oh, whatever, whatever. But then he figured it out, and like when he brought it to his boss was like, oh, I can't do anything with that. Oh, I can't even take a meeting. Sorry, I'm busy. See what I mean? So it's like you're putting like a patsy, I guess, in charge. Like you're putting him in charge
Mm-hmm.
to not actually achieve anything, but you're making it look like he's achieving things. But you're giving him just enough information and hurdles that he can't go anywhere with it.
Mm.
And that's why he had to come out because he's like, well, nobody's letting me tell the president this. And same with David Grush. Like it's basically like they're so embedded in everything that they'll put you there, make you think that you're making change, but you're not actively making change. You're just like
Mm-hmm.
spinning your wheels for no reason because it's gonna go nowhere. And that's why they whistle blew because they're like, bro, I have all this information, but I can't tell anyone because you're not letting me tell anyone.
Mm-hmm.
See what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, you're a part of the legacy program, but like you were like an unwitting participant in the legacy program,
Hmm.
which is what's happening with the Stephen Greer thing. Like all these Green Berets and stuff, like they didn't know they were part of this program. They're just a part of the program. So that's why like they're all
Right.
defecting now.
Hmm.
And they're like, okay, let's stop it now. You know? Yeah. And I think what he was saying, I don't know if it was in the in the documentary, but the one you put in, I'm pretty sure it was in the documentary. The one you put in charge is like the head of the technology division because that person is like a career person.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like if you're the head of a division, you're
Yeah.
not going to just like be changed out in 8 years. So like
Hmm.
likely that person knows a lot more than what they're telling people.
Right.
Even the director of the CIA, he doesn't know, which is crazy
Hmm.
because he was on a podcast talking about it, just like what is this? What is UFO stuff? We don't know anything about it, but it's like, but you're in charge of it. You're in charge of the whole like organization. I saw this crazy thing that Putin also said, and I'm like, that makes sense. He's like, most of the terrorist operations in the world are orchestrated by the CIA, and I'm like, actually, if you listen to Sean Ryan and like Everyday Spy Andrew Bustamante, it does sound like it. They run operations all the time
Hmm.
to like overthrow governments using like psychological tactics, bombing, stuff like that. And you're like, okay, is America the bad guy?
Maybe it's all like we're looking into this, but no one's talking about what's going on in the real stuff, like the
Like
war
what?
with, like Venezuela.
What's happening right now?
Well, it could
Huh?
be a war there.
No. Like what?
Well, yeah, right now,
I'm not
like,
paying attention to the world right now.
say that's what I'm saying. It's like people are paying attention to the interesting things that haven't, like, you're
But I
looking this
think it's
way.
all tied though. I think it's all tied though.
No, no, I understand it's tied, but like no one's talking about the a possible war with Venezuela.
Okay, wait, explain it. What's happening?
Oh, they've well, Trump said close the airspace around Venezuela and the
Yeah.
seas, I believe. They already there was some boat that was they said it had drugs and they killed all the people that was in it, but it was just fishermen.
My God. And then
Right.
Venezuela's like, we're gonna
Well, that's all.
retaliate.
Well, they can't really retaliate, right? They don't. But then there's
But
people.
they make allies like with
But you have
China.
to
Like, all
understand.
right,
But it's again, it probably goes back to oil again as Iraq, right? Which is
yes.
they have. There's an island there. There's a dispute between I think Guyana and Venezuela, but who owns that? And there's a lot of oil there.
Oh, dude, that's so funny that you were talking about this. So like I was at a family party and Tara's like half side like one her like dad's side's Guyanese and then I was like just like there like chatting with people and
Hmm.
then her uncle was telling me about all the oil they found in Guyana. I'm like, oh, that's crazy. And then he's like, yeah, they're starting to make lots of money, whatever, whatever. It's like associated with Venezuela. So like it's right on the border. He was like explaining stuff, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. But now you're bringing it up in this thing. I'm like, oh, there it is. There's the money. Like people just want the money.
Yeah.
You know,
Hmm.
that's like current event. Like why do we chase oil? Well, no, no, not why do we chase oil. We chase oil because then we're on the government's like teat. We're like keep sucking from the you know what I mean? And
Sure.
it's like it's that's the thing. It's like, but if you had 0 point energy, our whole world would change.
Hmm.
You know, like no, really though, like because they've already calculated to make that angled turn, you would need so much power that would power the entire USA for an entire year to make one right angle turn. The scientists like mathematically figured it out.
Hmm.
So it's like, okay, what power source do you guys have, and
Right.
like why are you not sharing it?
Hmm.
And that's what the person, that girl, going back to that girl who was a part of the corruption who talked about the World Bank, one thing she was saying is when you look at risk managers, right? A risk manager is supposed to figure out like how to not destroy something, right? Like what is the likelihood of some disastrous event happening? And what she was saying is if you give everyone, she's saying I'm just gonna think as a risk manager, okay? If I give everyone free energy, I have no control over the people. They could do whatever they want. They can have a family, they can not have a family, they could like move here, they can move there. And that's bad for risk because you don't know how to manage that. But if you can control people, like, okay, if they are all dependent on oil, we know that if we just cut this off, we can like increase money. If we, like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, because I see it all the time when I'm in Port Union, it's like the gas is like 110. It's the craziest lineup.
Yeah,
They're like,
yeah.
oh, look, you're manipulating people. You know what I mean? Like, okay, cool. Like, oh, we need a little more money. All right, drop the price. We're gonna get so much more money. Like, we're gonna get volume.
Hmm.
See what I'm saying? So it's like that's the control mechanism. Too much freedom is not a good thing for somebody trying to control people,
Hmm.
right? So like again, UFOs are baked into everything because it's just energy, you
But
know.
yeah, that's we got to see if that's true. Yeah.
And every single UFO encounter, like, because I listen to experiencers now, like, it's just if you listen to Area 52 and like watch like the phenomenon, there's all these documentaries about like people who've experienced UFOs, and they're all saying the exact same thing, which is like, don't destroy your planet.
Hmm.
There's a story of the guy who he's like a Mexican pilot. He got they took over his like brain. This sounds crazy. They took over his brain and then like he so he was flying to this one area and he had enough oil, same thing, or like gasoline, yeah, gasoline for the plane to make it to this location.
Jet fuel.
And then he was like, what?
I was just saying jet fuel. But,
Jet fuel, okay. And he was trying to make it to this location, okay. And then midway through, these NHI basically took over his like his being, and they were speaking to the people on the other end saying like, we come from a different planet, you guys are very quickly on the path of destroying yourselves, you need to stop doing this, whatever, whatever. And when they lost his plane on radar, and then when they found it again, he was at the point where he's supposed to be with a full tank of gas. They're like, how did you do this?
hmm.
And then like the whole control room was like speaking to him. He had a different voice at that time. They're like, what is going on? And they thought he was crazy. So they put him through a psych eval and he's totally fine. He stopped flying though, because like he got freaked out after that incident. But it's like, how do you explain like having a full tank of gas when you should have had zero by the end? Because they basically like they like warped him up and like brought him to the next point, and that's why they lost track on the radar. Like, where's his plane? You know? And then he was speaking to all these people, and it's like the message, or like even not Virginia, the South Africa one, where the UFO landed in a school ground, and then all the kids came out, and they were like getting downloads, like psychic messages from the UFO, and it was like, don't destroy your planet.
Hmm.
So it's like maybe, and if you look at that Elio Pixar
Yeah.
thing, when I was saying, the community of planetary whatever, they're all like all about peace and unity and creativity and all that, and it's just like us who they can't let in because we're too warring, you know.
So they
So
say. I don't know. I think if they're trying to communicate that this peace thing, I don't know if they understand the way governments work or who they should be talking to because it hasn't
yeah,
changed
because
anything, right? Right? Should they?
right, that's what everyone says. Like, why'd you pick them, right?
Hmm.
Why'd you pick them if they're not, like, why didn't you speak to the government? And what that was a big question that everyone was asking, because like, why are you speaking to these randoms? But it's because we're now talking about the randoms. We're like, if you spoke to Trump, let's say, like, oh, keep it a secret, they don't need to know this.
No,
But
but
because you're
like if you're
yeah,
gonna land, if you land on the White House, there's a lot of people that are.
no, so what they were saying is this: if they land on another, like, Whitley Strieber is a author, and like he's with them, as he like he literally says he lives with them. Like, they're
Mm.
like in the forest, and he like talks to them. He has like a device that's implanted in his chip. People feel the chip, and every time they try and cut it, it moves. Like, he goes to the doctor, and they're like, "Can you remove this thing?" And when they're like going to get it, like, it's an organic implant, and just like moves to another part of his body, which is insane. You're like, dude, that's crazy. But anyways,
But they can't scan it to show us the chip or whatever.
they literally have. They have like pictures of it and stuff. Just look into it. Whitley Strieber. It's
Mm.
like, dude, all these people are out here. Or there's another one. Oh man, what's his name? There's so many people in the UFO space. If you like look into it, oh, damn, Whitley Strieber and Chris. I wonder if I have it up still. No, I don't. Chris B. I think. Oh, I forgot. Anyways, but they're like very prominent names.
Hmm.
So what they were saying is that if you, what they don't want is to turn into gods. So if they land on the White House lawn, it'll be so shocking to the world, and people will start to like praise them. And they're like, no, you need to figure this out on your own because we all figured it out on our own.
Hmm.
And like, we can't help you up, but we can give you gifts. That's why they talk about like donations of like technology, where like at a military base, they just went outside and they're like, why is there a UFO craft right here?
But then they're not, as you said, if this secret program and everything is hidden. I mean, it, it, they haven't. It hasn't worked, or is it the plan is to make it work eventually?
No, no, no. It's all species. Either Peter Thiel even talked about this too. He's like they have to be gods or angels, demons or angels. And what he meant by that is like it's an allegory. It's not literally
Mm-hmm.
demons or angels. In order to leave your planet, you either like you have to work together to leave your planet,
Yeah.
right? Like if you have the technology, you we have to work together as one to like let's all be spacefaring.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're fighting, how can you like one country is not going to bring you into space. You could, but then another country's gonna be like, well, we need that technology too. Oh, well, we're gonna like fight
Well,
you
yeah,
for your
that was the
technology.
space force or the space
Ex-
race, right?
Exactly, exactly. Space race, exactly. So, what he's saying is to go intergalactic, you need to work together. So
Sure.
either you're a peaceful society,
Mm-hmm.
like you're like, okay, we're benevolent and we're going to go into space. We've figured out all our world problems. We're going to like venture out now.
Mm-hmm.
Or you're a hive mind. So like there's one person controlling all of us, maybe AI, I don't know. But like you're a hive mind that
Right.
like wait.
No, it's just
The AI thing?
no, you haven't watched the show yet, so it's okay.
Oh, the Apple one?
Yeah.
We tried. I couldn't do it. Tara's just so turned off by aliens. I was like, "Yo, let's watch the show," and then it started again, and she's like, "It's an alien show. I'm done." And I was like, "Oh, like I've overdone the alien thing." So now she's just anything that's. I was like, "You want to watch Elio? It's a good. It's like it's Pixar." And then she's like, "What's it about?" I'm like, "I should watch the trailer." She thought she's like, "Aliens? No, I'm not gonna watch this." Like she's so turned off by aliens because like I'm
Sure.
so obsessed. But
Yeah.
that's yeah, basically it's like hive mind. So is that what the show's about? That one?
Well, how far did you get?
They started like kissing each other, and then they started like giving out stuff. Like they started packing things, like licking their
Yeah. So
whatever.
spoilery. Yeah. It's well. Yeah. They kind of explain it. So they try to basically it's creating a hive mind
There you go.
and
Exactly. Exactly.
and and they're because well they kind of showed in the show like they spread too fast that some people it didn't work on some people or very few people. So those are the people that are still humans, and the one person, which is the main person of the show, is trying to figure out how to reverse it so people have freedom.
Okay. Cool. Yep. So that's literally it. That's the two options. Either we're benevolent or you become a hive mind
Hmm.
to leave the planet because you need to work together,
Hmm.
or you blow yourselves up, and that's what they think the great filter is. The great filter, like why having if there's all these spacefaring things, they would have blown themselves up before they would have filtered themselves out before becoming intergalactic. That's like the theory called the great filter. Like you just kill yourself before you achieve space travel.
Hmm.
And the reason why is because like you'll be fighting for resources. It's like, well, you're in space. I'm gonna like the space race. You were saying like we did that in like the Apollo missions or whatever,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? So, and it looks like we're doing that now. So like China's like, oh, we're going back to the moon, and then it's like a race, like who's gonna own the moon? Yeah.
Right.
Have you seen that stuff, or they're like talking about China controlling the moon because of the resources that you can extract for chips?
No, I haven't seen any of that. Their plan
Okay,
is
yeah,
still to go to the moon or go around the moon. Was it a couple of years?
America or who?
America.
China or America? Yeah, okay, because China's doing it. The Sean Ryan podcast, he's like talking about it. I'm like, oh, dude, that sounds so crazy. Actually, the Sean Ryan podcast was so interesting with Tucker Carlson. If you listen to it, it's I agree. So he was a huge Trump fan,
Hmm.
and then this Epstein stuff came out and like aliens and stuff, and he's like, I don't know what to believe anymore. Like
Hmm.
the person I thought was going to fix everything just straight up lied, and it turned out he's in the files. You know, and it's like
I
that must
don't.
be shocking, bro. What?
I don't see how that's surprising.
No, no, right. But he believed it. It's like imagine believing in something like your whole life. It's like Santa Claus. You're like, oh my God, I believe in Santa Claus. And then all of a sudden Santa Claus isn't real. You're like, oh dude, that rocks my worldview.
Sure.
So like his episode with Tucker Carlson was so fascinating because it's just like them riffing on how his worldview is so rocked. Like he doesn't even know what to believe. And it's just like, yeah, I feel you on that one, bro. Like the world's looking crazy. And then Tucker Carlson talked about it. It's like it's a spiritual battle. Like we are not literally like angels and demons, but like a spiritual war of like, do you do the right thing or the wrong thing?
Hmm.
Do you sell your soul for more money or like not? And I truly believe that that's what it is too. I agree with him. That's all I'm seeing now, just spiritual battles.
Hmm.
Like if our whole world is controlled by like craziness, like you're seeing what Trump's doing, you're crazy, bro.
Sure.
Like, oh, now there's war with Venezuela. Dude, you're crazy. China's doing this. Oh my God, you're crazy, bro.
Hmm.
Like all these, even these revolts. Like, my cousin just messaged me this morning. He's like, oh, like there's protests in Manila,
Hmm.
and I was like, oh, is it like a government protest, right? And then there was like the one in was it Nepal
Uh, I don't know. Oh, which one?
where they use the One Piece flag and like
I think it
basically
was
the One Piece
Nepal. Yeah,
flag.
that was Nepal.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So the one, and there's one in Mexico right now too. So the One Piece flag has become like the icon for overthrowing the bad government. And it makes sense because if you look at the One Piece storyline, it's about a one world government that's controlling everything, keeping people like chained.
Mm.
And like, and Luffy and his crew, like the One Piece flag is like they're pirates and they want to like go against this. They want to bring down the world government, right? And that's like become the symbol of hope. And it's like, why are all these people waking up? You know what I mean? Like, why is Nepal, Mexico, Philippines, like, why are you guys doing this? Because it's a spiritual battle. I think you're all starting to see it.
Hmm.
You know, you want to hear the craziest thing ever, as well. So, Sean Ryan talked about this. I don't even think he realizes what he's saying. But as an outside person, I'm like, you guys sound like the bad guys. So he said, do you know where the most PDF consumption is in the world?
Hmm.
Yes.
Where are you gonna say U.S.?
Yeah, US.
Right.
So you guys are fighting the PDF war and you are the biggest consumers of PDF?
How do we know that?
You know, statistics. He's like
No, no,
like
no. I'm saying like I
oh,
understand the statistics, but do you think they have the
okay.
same statistics in other parts of the world?
Okay. Sean Ryan's hyper pro American. Like hype. He's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you're
No, I
not saying no
understand. I
guns.
understand that.
You're not
Yeah,
saying
yeah,
anything. It's like, and he's like, he doesn't like China.
yeah,
He's
yeah, yeah.
like, I don't think he's gonna be like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think his stats are like that's very unfavorable to the U.S. Like, why would you say that?
Yeah, it's also probably misunderstanding of like you're gonna have more of those stats in America if they're more understanding of they have those set rules of how what they consider as that versus some other
Okay.
countries may not consider that as PDF, so it's not
Oh, I see what you're
categorized
saying.
as
I
that.
see what you're saying. Ah, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. So, like in like a different country, it might just be like normal.
Yeah, it could be, and it's not considered a PDF.
Fair. Fair point. Okay, that's a fair point. Okay, what about this? He was talking about how um, Chinese TikTok is supercharging its citizens because it has like um, such control mechanisms. Like you have, like China just said, you have to be like a university grad or something to be an
Sure.
influencer, You have time limits on when you can watch this thing. You have time limits on video games. All of their reels are about like mathematics and like health. And he's like, and then you have USA with like OnlyFans and like just people doing dances. It's like what? It's a brain rot, bro.
Well, the government is not going to control that, but you can have you can choose. There's categories on the TikTok
You can
if you just
choose,
want. If you
right?
just like, there's a category for math and science.
Right. You can choose, right? You can choose, but like we also know that the the what was it? 60% of Americans have a of sixth grade reading level. What was that
Sure.
crazy stat? Remember?
Yeah.
Like, bro, all right, these stats are not in your favor.
Mm-hmm.
You
No,
know
I
what I mean?
don't. I don't. I
Like,
don't disagree with that stat. Yeah, that's probably true. But that's this idea of freedom for them. So if it's they don't want government to control it. So
right? They don't want government to control it. The country with the most obesity, America.
hmm
Yeah, because there's no control, bro.
hmm
And like because there's no control, you can put as much sugar, as much fat into this thing. I think remember your brother was saying like in Chicago, like, were you there? Where like you have the unlimited refills of popcorn, it's a
yeah, it's
giant
crazy.
bucket.
Yeah,
Like, bro, what? See what I mean? Like, what are we
yeah,
doing?
yeah.
Like, you're just playing into their addictions
hmm
and then like making money off their addictions.
hmm
This doesn't sound like the ideal country, you know what I mean? Like to be like, oh, I that sounds like a great example. Like it's almost like they took freedom too far.
I mean, yeah, you can argue that, but I think it's self reliant. It's up to you to figure out if you what you want, right? If you, it's up to you to control that kind of stuff. I think
Right.
that's what they believe, anyway. So
Right. But you there's a high chance of your wherever like however you grew up is the status you're going to stay in. Sure you have those outliers like oh the American dream like this guy made it out and like blah 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 but like the majority of people are going to stay within their status quo. So if
hmm
I grew up thinking like even now actually like I grew up eating like bare McDonald's like just everything, right? And then only now through like proper education, I'm like, oh, I didn't know wasn't supposed to eat that, you know?
hmm
Because my parents were giving it to me. So I'm like, all right, that should be fine. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, but education matters too to have like proper choices. Or
yeah.
even if like, you know what I mean? Like, or even if you're like,
No, I don't disagree with that. That's why the top universities are still in the United States.
but that's such a small minority of people. Like we're like, oh, top university in the United States, totally. But the majority of 60% of Americans have a like sixth grade reading level. Like, bro, what
Yeah,
are you
so they
saying?
have it's the juxtaposition of both, right? They have that, and
Right, exactly.
they have the best universities in the world. Yeah,
Right. And who are attending those universities? Expats,
yeah, it
people
could
that
be
are not,
outside. Yeah,
right? And one thing that Tucker Carlson brought up, and I was thinking about this a lot. I'm like, I think you're right, but it's not what you think. So what are you saying is like we're seeing a genocide right now of white people. And I was like, that's interesting. You brought that up. And he was
well,
like,
I knew that was going to be the case. That's the
oh,
whole idea of why they were voting for Trump, why they're against immigrants.
okay, yeah. So that's what he's saying. He's like, you're basically changing our country from white people. But he's like, I'm not racist, but like there's a global genocide happening of
Sure,
like white people, and we're not talking about it. And
but
I'm like,
I get that. I
yeah,
understand what he's saying, but there isn't anything that says America is for white people.
it's exactly,
If you
no,
want white
totally,
people,
yeah,
you probably go to Europe then.
yeah, it's totally. And it's like he said that it's in favor of capitalism. Like, okay, these immigrants are helping capitalism. So like, should we put capitalism above the genocide of white
hmm
people? And I'm like,
And there's
but
not a
you
real
guys have this.
he's
Yeah.
using that word wrong. Also, it's not. There's no genocide to white people
Well, I don't know if he said genocide, but like he said it's like the Holocaust.
or
It's
G-side.
like
You got to say G-side.
oh yeah, you're right. G side. But you know what I mean? Like it wasn't. Maybe that was the exact word. Actually, he said something akin to like what's happening in World War II for the Jews is happening now globally, and nobody's talking about it.
But it's not what.
And I'm like, no, but because like people are like, oh, it's all about BIPOC and it's all about diversity and like all that. But it's like, but I'm like, yeah, but you guys kind of ruled the world for like so long, and like you kind of just like America was actually indigenous before you guys. So
Yeah, I
like,
don't,
I don't know what you're saying. Like, I kind of get what you're saying, but like you're also coming from a white perspective.
no,
So like it's a
I
little
knew that
weird.
was yeah, and but that was this was the case from I remember from before. I remember when these are the arguments that were being said before, right? It's during
Oh, really?
first term of Trump's, right?
Okay.
This is the whole idea of against immigration and stuff. But there isn't anything that says it's for white people. Where is it in your constitution? It doesn't say that.
Yeah, totally. Exactly. Yeah, totally. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, totally. I agree with you.
Yeah.
And like you were saying, like the top universities um, are in America. And he's like, yeah, but they're making it hard for like white people to get into those universities. I'm like, right, but also 60% of your population has a sixth grade reading level, bro.
They're not making it harder for white people. There's no thing like that. It's just it's on based on
It's just hard.
merits.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
based
It's
on
just hard to
merits.
get. It's just hard to get in.
No, no,
You
no.
guys,
If
no.
majority, no, no, no. But it's also like majority of people are going to be is white in America, right?
Yeah.
There's still a portion. It's like, um, especially the ones that are coming from outside are they have money. That's why they can send people outside. First of all,
Exactly. Yeah. It's
right?
capitalism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just your own population that has to. There is going to be a majority of white people still inside those schools. It's not like they're not,
Yeah, totally. No, I agree with you. Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
But he's talking about like white hate right now. Like, oh, I get it. I get what you're
I get that
saying.
one too. I get that too. I always felt weird when that was there. I do get that too. I understand that,
Yeah, no, I also agree. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like, you
but
don't need to hate yourself,
that's
bro.
your own doing. Like it's your own. Like no one's
Yeah, yeah,
passing
yeah.
laws on white hate.
Yeah, totally, totally, totally. And like, if should we be looking at how difficult it is for them to get in, or should we be looking at like your education level? You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of problems here.
Hmm.
Like we said, the obesity, the 60% have like a sixth grade reading. Like, that was so mind blowing to
Hmm.
hear that. It's just like, what?
And it's probably different if you break that down too. It's like what is between the black and white community. Like, we're saying Americans, right? Everyone would be considered that. But then even within, if you break it down between the black and white Americans, that's even more probably bigger.
The lower
Yeah,
education
like
level?
how many white
Oh,
people
yeah, true.
versus the
No,
black
yeah, true.
communities,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because of what they've gone through. So,
Yeah. Totally. Yeah, 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 I agree, I agree. If you believe America is white, I can understand where you're coming from, Tucker Carlson. But like,
it's not.
it's not. Like, yeah, it's like technically if you really look at it, like indigenous people were there first. Like, I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. If you really want white people, just go to Europe then.
but then is the West going like I I think like I really think it's happening. Like the Asia is on the rise, and I think that the West is going to become more diverse. Actually, I don't even think I know because I had
Yeah,
to
of
run these
course it's
stats
going to
for
be. Yeah.
yeah. Like I was running these stats for like my daytime job, and we were looking at like immigration, and it's like, oh, by the year like I don't know, like 5 years from now or something, it's going to be more BIPOC people,
Hmm.
and it's like that is, but because the global majority is BIPOC.
Already, yeah,
White people are already like globally, they're not that many of them. Like, there's a billion people in like, or 2 billion people in like India or something, right?
a billion.
A billion, sure. But you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's a lot.
But it's
Like,
not a
if
lot
you,
too. And if I think I saw somewhere else where it's like, is it 1% maybe going out of India, which is if you compare it to a billion, it's small. 1% is it
oh,
seems
yeah, yeah,
it's a
true.
big number, but it's really 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 small for the whole country.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, 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 yeah. So, like, if we look at the aggregate numbers for the world, like, white people are very small in that
Hmm.
set. So it's like you're like I don't understand what you mean about the global genocide. It's like you already were small to begin with. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like maybe now you're just like paying attention to it and you're like, oh, it's kind of weird, you know?
Well, I think he's always. I think he's saying it without saying it that he's Like if you're
Girl
only
bang.
for white people, yeah, I think you're kind of racist if you're saying that.
Like, okay, okay, okay. Let thought experiment. Because he's like, oh, we're stomping out white people. Okay, Tucker Carlson's daughter, let's say,
Mm-hmm.
marries a BIPOC person.
Mm-hmm.
So does that count as the stomping out? Because if it does count, you're racist. But
I
if you
think
think that, like,
I
you
think
know what I mean? If
that's.
you
I
think
really think he's
he's like,
what's
you
what he's
gotta,
saying.
you know what I'm saying? He's like, you gotta marry a white person so we don't get stomped out.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But I love this dude. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like so weird. Like I don't think you like. I think that in the future, everyone's. That's why it's a really weird conception. Because I think even like we were at a family party last night and like because we were meeting one of my nieces, she's not really like young, she's like old. Filipino families are weird like that. She's like 20 something, and like she brought her, I don't know if it's her husband, but he's white. So I'm like stomped out because as soon as you guys have a kid that's half white half Filipino. See what I mean? So it's like we're mixing. Like, do you want us to segregate again, Tucker Carlson? Like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
confused. You know,
I mean, that's is that what he's
that's what it sounds
implying?
like.
Yeah,
You know what
that's
I
what it
mean?
sounds like. Yeah.
Like, what do you mean you're stomping them out? Because
Mm.
like, I just don't get it.
Yeah. Like, what is the laws? There's no laws. People just have the freedom to choose.
Yeah, I think that in the future, like, people are just gonna be like one color of like a beigey. Like, technically, you and I are the same color, right? And we're both
Technically.
not white.
Yeah,
Technically,
yeah.
if I just get more tanned, I would like start to get closer to your color. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
I think it's just gonna be like shades of the same color. Even black people, like you see them, you're like, well, you're a light skinned black person, which is more akin to what your skin color is, Vish. So it's
Right.
like, you see what I mean? So you're like, are we, are we like getting confused? Like, I really feel like in the future we're all gonna be the same color, just different tones of that color,
I
like a
don't
little
really know
darker, a
why
little lighter.
he's. But the thing is, like, why is he saying white or this? It's just your tone does change based on how much sun you're getting.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, exactly,
It's
exactly.
not
Yeah.
about the
So
color. It's just people.
yeah, totally, totally, totally.
Like I can
That sounds
understand
a
if
little
he's.
racist.
No, I can understand if he was trying to say American like uh, culturally is dying.
Yeah, yeah,
That's not racist. I can understand that. But if you're
yeah.
saying white G side, I think that sounds like a little bit racist. He's really
That sounds
doesn't.
racist,
That
right?
sounds
You're like
racist.
so
Yeah.
weird. I remember like listening to that podcast. I was like, I like turned. I was like, okay, let me really figure out this argument right now because I'm like confused. You
Mm-hmm.
know what's weird though? Why won't people listen to that? Like, I'm just like curious. Like, what do you believe?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I've seen so many people just turn it off. Like, no, I don't want to listen to this. You're like,
Sure.
why?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. Like, why do you believe that? I can't believe you believe that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Maybe there's a disconnect. You know? Yeah, he's like in his head. He's like, we gotta keep it Aryan. The bloodline must stay Aryan. You know what I mean?
Maybe he's
Like
no more of
you
a
will
Nazi
only
than.
true, right? Like if you don't want to, if you don't want to mix races, bro, like what are you saying?
Yeah.
He's like, I love different cultures. I travel. I'm not racist. I would just never let my daughter marry one of you. Basically, you know, you're like, it's a little racist, bro. It's
It
a
does.
little racist,
Yeah.
low
Yeah.
key racist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if you're thinking on those lines, you're like, no, no, I'm a world traveler, bro. I have so much in common with like Afghanis, like Africans, Indian people. Just don't marry my family. It's weird. It's weird. You know,
Yes.
it's weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Last thing. Well, what time we at?
1 hour.
Okay. Okay. Cool. All right. All right. Because this one is very, very interesting. What's that new? We actually had to turn it off. But what's that new movie with Jennifer Lawrence?
I don't know. Like
Uh,
recently?
yeah, it just came out. It's a comedy. Let
I
me
have
pull it up. Hold on, wait.
no idea.
Okay, okay. This is so fascinating. So we're watching this comedy, and it is called No Hard Feelings. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the premise is she needs to um she needs to buy a new car but can't afford it. So they're offering if you date and sleep with our son, you get this car. Okay. So she gets the job and she's trying to like hit on the son, but the son is so not into it. and she's like being forceful. And it's so interesting because like when we were in the early 2000s, like watching those old movies now, you're like, oh, dude, that's kind of racist, or like, oh, that's kind of weird. You should probably shouldn't have said that. You know what I mean? But watching that movie now, it's almost like she was basically like sexually abusing the kid.
Hmm.
She's like touching him, like forcing herself on him, whatever, whatever, right? And like it almost felt like this was the women's movement cranked up to 10. She's like, oh, I'm gonna pick this role because it's all about like we have to show that we're also dominant in this role. But like if you look back, you're like, well, if roles were reversed, it's kind of like you're like if it was a girl and an older guy, like this would be a little weird,
Sure.
like forcing yourself onto them sexually, right? But like we're not in that zone now. Like remember how you said like we got to go like far left, far right, and it's just gonna swing the pendulum, right? It's almost like
Yeah.
this movie is like way in that other direction, and then like 5, 10 years down the line, we're like, oh, that was a crazy movie. That was basically a movie about like sexual assault, you know,
Hmm.
and like, but I can understand why she would want to pick that role because it's like women empowerment, but it's like, guys, we gotta like,
Sorry. Yeah. Yeah.
guys, we gotta chill out, bro. Like that's way too intense, you know.
Hmm.
And I feel like that's like I feel like we're constantly in a growing phase, and that's just gonna be one of those signs like we went too far with this. Do you think so, or
I don't know the movie, so.
basically it's that she's like 10 years older than him, and she's trying to sleep with him, like forcefully trying to sleep with him in order to get this car.
Hmm.
But like, imagine if it was like the girl was 19 and the guy was 32, and then he's like forcefully trying to sleep with the girl,
Yeah.
and she's like visibly uncomfortable. We'd be
Oh,
like,
yeah,
it's a
yeah,
weird
yeah, yeah.
movie.
Right, right,
You
right.
see what I'm saying?
Sure.
Do you see what I'm saying? Right? But like, they flipped it, so it's like now we can make a movie about it, and it's just funny. But it's
Hmm.
like it's really not that funny because it's like if roles were reversed, it'd be kind of weird,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird that we're seeming to be too pro woman at this point, where it's like we're just putting blinders on to like how far you can take this thing, you know? I can't wait
Sure.
till it normalizes again. But that's not what I really want to get into. So the whole premise of the movie, so going like tying this all together with a nice bow about like UFOs and like our financial constraints and like our shackled in debt entanglement. Okay. So the whole premise of the movie is she owns this house. Okay, I didn't know this. I'm such a dummy. And then Tara was like explaining to me. I'm like, that's not real. She told me this like a few days ago, and then synchronicity. We watched this movie, and this is exactly what the movie's about. So she was listening to this podcast about how boomers are like, wow, it's really great that my house is worth $1 million. I'm gonna
Hmm.
pass it on to my kid, and then they can like have $1 million home, right? But the problem is the kids can't afford the property tax on the $1 million home. Even if you have the mortgage paid off, the property tax is still quite high, and you still have to pay for it. Do you
Okay.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is that a real thing? Because like you own something, I don't own something. So like,
No, but
do
like,
property taxes change over time?
but they do change over time. Yeah.
Okay, so
But it's
the
not like
movie.
I don't.
Okay,
I like. How can I say this? Is it if there's no more mortgage, right?
you still have to pay a property tax on like the
Correct.
place.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the property tax isn't like the price of a home.
No, it's not the price of a home, but
Yeah.
property tax for $1 million. I think we like Google it was like $2,000 something, which is not
It
crazy, but it's
depends
like
on where you're at.
exactly. So that was the point of the movie. So she owned a home from her mother, which was paid off, but she couldn't afford the property taxes anymore because the homes in the area started to build up in value. So her home naturally built up in value,
No, I get it, but if you have a
right?
job and you're not paying rent or anything, I'm sure you can pay your property tax, right?
Yeah, but like you still have to pay for other things like property tax, like upkeep for the home. Like let's say you break a roof, you have to pay for the roof.
But it doesn't happen like that every year, right? Like you're
Totally,
not
yeah,
paying rent
for sure.
anymore, right? That's the other thing I'm talking about. There's no rent,
Right.
right?
But property tax is akin to rent for the government. So I didn't know property tax can just be like, I thought it was like the valuation of the home at the time. And you also pay insurance on top of that, right? You have to pay insurance for like your home. So if it's $1 million home, it's like, what's the insurance premium for $1 million home,
Hmm.
right? So like, I didn't know that those things change with the value of the area. I thought it was relative to the time that you bought the house.
Well, it does start from the time that you bought the house.
Right,
The change of the property tax. Yeah.
right. So with renting, right? Because I've experience with this because we rent. So like renting, you can be like rent locked, and then it can only increase a certain percentage per year,
Yeah.
right? So you're like, okay, well, I can ballpark what it's going to cost me, right?
Hmm.
Whereas if you own a home and then all of a sudden the homes in that area just increase in value like 20-fold, you're like, oh, now I have to pay property tax relative to my area plus insurance relative to my area
Hmm.
because my home went from like valuation of 100K to a valuation of like $2 million.
Right.
And then people are selling their homes because they're like, dude, I can't, what's going on? And that was what the movie's about. Okay.
Hmm.
So what I'm trying to say is like, how do you kick people out of an area? Remember the thing, the world government thing, not Soros, where they all meet the world governments, and then that one guy was like, you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. Everyone will be renting. And I'm
Right.
like, how do you do that? But if I own my home, you can't
Hmm.
take that
Hmm.
away. Oh,
Right.
we can take it away.
Hmm.
We just changed the property value. And you're like, what? And that's the rig system. When I found that out, I was like, oh, you're not even safe if you own a home. Because if they just jack up the price of the homes in the area, like, dude, how am I going to pay for this? Like now your home's worth $2 million. That's great for you. $2 million, sell it for $2 million. Where are you going to move?
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And this is the rig system.
Right.
Do you agree, or like you're like, no, maybe not? Like I
No.
don't know. Like this, from my perspective, I'm like that seems a little rigged, bro.
Hmm.
If you went from like 100K, like the homes our parents grew up in, like they were roughly around like 100K, let's say 100, 200K, something like that, right? And now they're worth like $1 million.
Hmm.
So how much is that property tax and insurance, bro? Is that gentrification? Is that like, oh, this is how we kick them out? This area is really nice. We want to develop it. And if we develop it, we can kick them out.
Okay. It depends on
You can
the
see what I mean,
laws.
right?
Yeah, sure, sure. But depends on
That's
the laws that
rigged,
are there.
bro.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like what laws? We see it do happen though. Like we see like our parents' homes are like in the millions now. You're like,
Hmm.
how'd that happen?
Hmm.
Simply because like the area developed and now the value has gone up.
It's not just the area that developed. There's a variety of things because there wasn't enough homes, so the bidding wars caused these prices to go up as well.
Oh, see what I mean? Why
Yeah.
didn't you build more homes, bro? Like what I'm saying is this is how you can rig the system. This is how the control mechanism for the system,
Hmm.
right? Like because I really thought I was like, oh, okay, cool. It's whatever the price you bought at the time. It's gonna be locked in. Let's just find like something, and then it'll never have to go up. It's like, oh no, it will go up if the area goes up. And you're like, wait, what?
I don't
And then you're kicked
know.
out.
It's
Then you're
not
forced to
this.
sell
No, even though the price is something, it doesn't mean that the property tax changes based on that.
the valuation.
Based on the new valuation.
Or Google that, or like ChatGPT that, because that's what the movie was about. And I was like, oh, this is exactly what you told me to Tara.
No, because like I can tell from mine, they tell you what
Okay.
the original one was, and they go based on that.
Oh, so whatever the price is when you bought it, it stays.
Yeah, so they go based on that. There is a growth over time, but it's from that price.
Okay, let's say you go like
It's not like it
a
jumps just
hundred.
because of one, a few years. This thing jumped to 1 million. Doesn't
Okay.
mean that it's 1 million that the property tax is based on, unless
Okay.
the rules are different in those areas,
In
right?
the U.S.
Yeah, it could be U.S. counties. Who knows? I don't know what their each local government
Okay.
may have something different. I don't know if that's the case, but I'm just saying.
That's true because this was a U.S. movie and the podcast Tara was listening to was U.S. So
Right.
if that is real in the U.S., dude, you guys are crazy, bro.
Hmm.
Just like the lack of healthcare. Like, how do most people go bankrupt? Health bills
Oh, in
because
the
they can't pay.
U.S.
Like,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, that's how most people go bankrupt. They just can't
yeah.
pay
But
for
at the
like
same
health.
time, they're like they try to show like, oh, 50% of or something like that, 49% of people's taxes, or that is the tax in Canada. But we're not versus their tax. But then it's like we don't talk about healthcare costs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
so many things that we pay into, but like, I, I truly think like Canada's got a great system. Like, there's nothing to complain about. There's not like obviously like prices are like
No, I mean
they're
like
supposed
I
to
think
go
that I don't.
lower.
Yeah, I don't think that there's nothing. There's things to complain about because we always want to try to fix things or make things better.
Right.
Right.
But it's not like overtly crazy like
It's not
freaking the
overtly
US.
crazy. Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You're like, if you found out most of Canadians, 60% of Canadians had a sixth grade reading level, I'd be like, what is happening to our country?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Or
Yeah. Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Yeah.
oh, most people in Canada are losing all of their health, are going bankrupt because of health payments. I'd be like,
Mm-hmm.
what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, do you guys not see that in the US? You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys don't think this is crazy? You don't think this is crazy, right? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and like most of the people who own the money
Well, the
are
thing
like
is,
very
the thing
tiny.
is for
Yeah.
them is different. That we get American news. They don't
Okay.
get world news. They get American news, right?
Oh, so they can't see outside.
Because their entertainment is American. We get
True. True.
we're getting an outside, like we're getting their entertainment, but we also have entertainment or information that's here. It's different. They don't know anything about the rest of the
True.
world because they are the world.
True. That's true. You're right. You're right. Breaking Bad's American, right?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah,
And but the whole show is about he can't pay his medical cancer bills.
yeah.
That's why he had to sell drugs.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, what? You know what I mean? But like,
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. It's like, well, this is what everyone goes through. It's like, no, not everyone, bro. Not
No, no,
everyone.
their system is different. They don't know the other parts of the world unless you're educated, I guess.
Yeah. Oh
Right.
my God, that's so real.
Like that's
That's
why
actually so
they
real.
like they try to like Bernie's trying to spread as much information or other people, but they're attacking back with your tax is going to go up. Your tax is going to go up.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Dude, that's so real. Are they psyoped? Like, maybe that's what it is. It's like maybe in like 100 years we'll be like, America was crazy, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, I'm not thinking that about Canada. Like, again, there's stuff you could change, but like nothing crazy. Just like, sure, our unemployment's high, but like, damn, like
Right.
like
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
nothing like I can't point to anything where I'm like, can you? I don't know. I'm not paying attention to too much, maybe. Like, but is there something where you're like, whoa, that's a huge problem for Canada? A reliance towards the U.S.
No,
Maybe like,
everything right now. No, no, no. Our reliance or alliance with the U.S. is. I mean, the current situation is they have to deal with that. But what I hear or what I'm seeing is that the world's looking towards Canada because our leader is probably the
really?
better. I don't know. It could be my
That's my guy,
social
Mark
media,
Carney, right there, bro. Mark Carney, let's go, let's go.
right? But there are people that are conservatives that don't agree with a lot of things that he's doing. But a lot of things that he is doing is in my. I would think that the conservatives would actually agree with. They're just saying no to him because he's a liberal.
Yes. Okay. 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 And but that was the thing. It's like when he got voted in. Like I remember that was the first time I voted where I was like, oh, I need to vote for this because it's like we had Polivier who was like basically like Trump's twin. Like he was trying to like use the rhetoric, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Remember like how many genders are there? And then he's like, I only believe in two. There's no only two. I'm like, oh, okay, guy, bro. Like I was gonna go conservative because I was like, we need a change up. But then when I saw like Mark Carney, he was like, he worked for the financial institutions. He was pulled in by Europe to help pull them out of the financial crisis. It's like, dude, this is who we need. We need a business person because countries are run like businesses. It makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it's like people are like they'll see his interviews and like, oh, he was like placating Putin. Not Putin. No, he's placating to Trump. You know, whatever. It's like, no. Have you ever been in a business deal? You don't just like ram somebody over. You have to be like, oh, that's cool.
But does it
Yeah,
even
for sure.
even with that though? Like it. See, I see what they're trying to do with the perspective thing, but Trump is the one that said that he wants to be like him.
Really?
Yeah, that was
Oh,
like
I didn't know
something
that.
like he said something in
Oh, that's
those
funny.
whatever the media interviews where they were all sitting there in the Oval Office or whatever that was in in those meetings that he had. So
Oh, interesting. Because I remember like when he visited Trump and the people were like, all the comments were like, oh, so much for elbows up, And it's like, no, a negotiation doesn't mean you railroad the person. It's a negotiation. It's like, well, what do you bring to the table? You can't be like a dick in a negotiation or else they're not going to want to deal with you.
yeah, 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 yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he was like, yeah, Trump's great. Like, thank you for everything, blah blah. And then people are like, oh, why would you say
No,
that?
but
It's
he
like,
never said Trump's
why would
great.
you not?
He was using
Like,
words that are real, which is all why I
oh,
liked it. Which is like he's a change something, which is what it's true. He's not lying.
yeah,
That's true, right? Doesn't mean that he agrees with the change. It's just saying that he's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
giving him props to things that yes, these are real facts, but not that he's good.
Right, 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 right. And it's like, but people will see that as weakness. But I'm like, you guys are not understanding.
Yeah, you didn't
It's like,
understand. You didn't understand the game plan there.
yeah, like, no, you can't just railroad some, like that's Trump's move for railroading someone.
Yeah.
This is diplomacy, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Mm-hmm.
Like imagine if you're like you go into work, you're like, your ideas are crap, mine are the best, I'm the winner. Nobody wants to work with you.
Yeah.
They'll be
No.
like, oh, you did some good things.
Yeah. Yeah.
But let's try and move in this
Mm-hmm.
direction. You'll be like, oh, yeah, we should move in that direction. You know?
Yeah. Like recently, what I'm seeing with Carney's had to deal with the UAE. That's good
Oh,
for
that's cool.
us, and
Nice.
possibly there's some deal with China gonna happen soon too. What I hear,
I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Okay.
and it's possible, but it's not true yet. If the EV tariffs are removed, then we have an EV like price fight over like cheaper cars.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, that'd be cool too.
It's
See?
possible.
Genius.
Yeah.
So, okay, I feel like we need to look at this objectively. Okay, because Andrew Bustamante is listening to this as well, and Sean Ryan, anti-China. Okay, because of the way China runs its own government,
Sure.
right? And if you read Shadow Cell, Andrew Bustamante's book, it sounds most likely like he was he was like doing special operations in China. He was a spy in China. Okay. And he's like, no, everyone, like, trust me, China's bad, whatever, whatever. But like, their economy's booming. And even Sean Ryan and also Andrew Bustamante said they want to be the rising sun. And what that means is they want to oversee everything, but they don't want to control everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Alexander the Great, right? Alexander the Great ruled most of the world. And the reason why nobody revolted is because he let you be your country. He's like, that's your culture. You stay that culture. You're just under me, right? And it seems like even Sean Ryan and Andrew Bustamante were
Well,
saying
that's
that
also
that's what
why he.
China's move is
That's also why he got killed. Right?
because his people didn't like that they weren't one world.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, but like that's his own people's problem, bro. I'm saying like if you're not
Sure.
working with, you know what I mean, like as a country under you, I'd be like, that's cool, bro. Thank you,
Mm-hmm.
And what they're all saying is like that's China's move because its long-term strategy is to be the rising sun of the world, which is like we maintain the world. We have a very strong like hold over it, but we're not going to control the world. We're not going to be like, oh, you guys got to be a one world policy. You got to be da, da, da,
No, no,
right?
because if you're being one world or controlling the world,
That's how you revolt.
it's not about the revolt. There's people like that's why there, a lot of things that you can find out about America or what they're doing, or you know what I mean. Like you're going to be looking into what exactly their finances are and those sort of things. Where that's not the case with. That's how they can control that, right? They don't have to reveal to the world what they're spending money on or things like that because they're not a
Yeah,
world
yeah,
bank kind of thing now, right? Or
yeah,
world,
totally, totally,
yeah,
totally. Um, Speaking of World Bank, well, side note, quick side note, in that Nazi podcast that I was listening to, they were talking about how like they put gold in Japan or something because they wanted to fund their own world government to go against. They wanted to fund their own World Bank to go against the World Bank that got created after World War II. Just a side note. I'm like, I wonder if that's all part of it. It's like a big secret war, you know? But going back to the whole thing about not controlling. So to me, that sounds like the best move. You let commerce decide
Hmm.
and you leave us alone, we'll leave you alone. Right. And Mark Carney, you said that they're going to make a deal soon. To me, that makes the most sense. You have a rising economy. You want to get in with the rising economy. The rising economy is not saying become like fly my Chinese flag. No, it's just saying like, hey, we'll produce a lot of products for you guys. You'll buy our products.
Hmm.
Cool. That makes sense, right? Again, going back to like the confusion of America, it's like, why don't you like that idea? Oh, because you want to rule the world. Totally. It makes sense. Like you want to be like the superpower of the world that everyone goes to for weapons and arms. But like weapons and arms has a very like a limited expiry date.
Hmm.
Commerce does not. Like, let's say you get rid of wars. Okay, so America becomes nothing. The military-industrial complex becomes nothing. Like, let's say you're like, oh, we're all done fighting a war. Okay, so who's gonna buy your bombs, bro?
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? That's why
Sure.
they had to make up. They were like talking about like a fake alien invasion because then it's like you need to create weapons against the aliens, you know? And that was like the Project Bluebeam that they're talking about. But like, if your objective is to just be the world's commerce department, that makes a lot of sense, bro.
Which what America is already or was. Uh,
But it like lost its way.
well, yeah, this is because you picked someone like Trump.
Yeah.
Before that, right? They're the leading in technology, the leading in all these other
Yeah.
things, right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like, is this the beginning of the? Do you think by the end of? All right. Do you think? A final few questions. Do you think by the end of 2025 we're going to get crazy disclosure like yeah, aliens exist, bro? Like Trump's gonna be like aliens exist, or do you think that's like a 2026 thing, or do you think it'll never happen?
Uh, but the aliens exist? I don't know about that.
Or like no,
But
no, they won't say aliens. They'll just be like NHI exists, and like they've already said it. Like so many people said NHI exists. We're recovering their crafts, but like you think a president will reference NHI?
mm, if it's true, yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Okay. Do you think sooner or later? Do you think before 2025 ends or after in 2026 or like
I don't. I
2027?
don't know when that's gonna be the case. But I feel like if it's true, yeah,
Like the dam's gonna burst. Like so much people are gonna make commotions about it that it's just gonna like explode, and he's gonna be like, "All right, NHI are a thing.
sure,
Let's move on." You know, or
yeah,
he'll be like, "NHI are a thing. They pose no threat to us." Da da da.
hmm,
Probably say something like that.
something like that.
Okay. So the next thing is, do you think that China will lead the world in commerce?
I think they kind of already are.
Not entertainment, not entertainment, commerce. So like, made in China.
But it's been going on for a long time. I don't see that that's gonna change.
Uh, but more like
Like,
what do
what
you
do you mean
mean?
by made in China? We've been having
Like,
so many
like
things that are made in China, right? Already.
uh, right. More like their dollar is going to like they're gonna be more of like their connection with Carney. It's like, oh, now they're starting to make like legit big moves.
I think they've been making big moves, right?
But do you think it'll overtake America?
I think it's more like this big move with Canada. It's not that it's a big move for them. It's a big move for Canada to finally look outside of U.S. to make bigger
Oh, I see what you're
deals,
saying.
better deals
No,
for us.
but that's a huge thing.
That's for big thing for Canada, not for China.
But U.S. We're one of their biggest partners.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's a big thing for Canada to do that.
But I'm saying the U.S. Like if U.S. is losing deals, bro,
Hmm.
that's not good. So
Yeah, that's not
that's what
good
I
for
mean.
the
It's like
U.S. Yeah,
that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like, but right now everybody's using deals with the U.S. Right? They're like, oh, we'll like take your weapons. We'll like infrastructure, whatever.
hmm,
But it's like, but if China starts doing that and we all start moving with China, then like destabilization of power. Like you lose U.S., China becomes number one.
right.
Do you think? that'll happen next few years?
I don't know. We'll have to see.
Because that partnership is very intriguing to me. Like Canada, wow, Canada, really, eh? You're gonna like let go of your deal with US and move with China? That's crazy. Because
That's
that's a
crazy.
signal. That's a
Yeah.
signal to like the rest of the world. They're like,
Yeah,
even
because we
Europe,
relied on the
like,
U.S. for
really?
far too long, and I think that was the detriment there, right? So we're
Yeah.
looking at like it's better for us to have. You can still have deals with America, but you now also looking outside. It's just better for
Okay.
us.
Totally. And do you think that weapons, do you think that commerce will overtake military in terms of like industry?
I think it does already, no?
Okay, but like America's backbone is the military industrial complex.
Both of them are
So do
spending
you,
money on military. China as well.
oh, so you don't think so okay, I see what you're saying. So like instead of buying from America, like Venezuela, instead of buying from America weapons, they'll buy from China type
Well,
of
it
thing.
depends. I don't know if that's going to really be the case. It just depends on how China has to prove that their weapons are as good as
Superior.
Americans,
Yeah,
yeah, or
okay.
superior. Like we're looking at. I think there was a deal with I forgot which country, Norway or something like that, where we were supposed to buy so many jets from America, but I don't think that deal's going to happen. So we're dealing with, I think it's Norway, whoever is the one that makes that. There's this other jet that's really good, and they're gonna be
Okay.
probably making. Well, this is just the start of it, but maybe making the plant here as well because they have so many deals that they can't make enough jets for all of them. So they'll probably make a plant here as well to make jets for
Okay, interesting.
supply as well as for us.
Okay, that's interesting. So do you think that we'll ever, I guess we can never get rid of armament. Like that
I
will be a
just don't
staple.
think so. I mean, not foreseeably,
Yeah, I agree. Okay. Okay. Do you think that
because there's still problems still happening, right? It's not like not every country to their neighbor is safe. Not it's not like that
true, yeah, you're
everywhere.
right, you're right. Yeah, true. Okay, fair, fair, fair.
Like China
Do
or
you
Taiwan is still has an issue with
That's what I was gonna bring
China.
up. Like, yeah, yeah. So
Uh,
like
there's
Philippines
even
is
India
huge.
and India and China, yeah, Philippines and China. Like they're
Yeah.
doing things that are encroaching onto their territories.
Which is all right, so that's very interesting because like yeah, I have like cousins in the Philippines and stuff, and like they're like super sketchy with China. They're just like, I don't trust them.
Hmm.
And I'm like, from my perspective, it seems good. I don't know. Like I
No,
want to
but I
support
think
you guys, but like
it's the same thing with America. A lot of things of well, right now, no, right, especially with this guy, but um, like Guyana is allied with America, and they want
okay.
that because of the situation with Venezuela,
Right, right, right. Okay.
right? So they want well, I think what they would probably agree with what America's doing. It's better for
Okay.
Guyana, not
Right,
necessarily
right.
for Americans, but
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Okay. So it's really just like who's helping you bolster your country.
hmm
So like China's not helping um, Philippines bolster their country, so that's why they're like sketched out about China.
yeah, so they're relying on Americans,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
Whereas Canada's like, well,
Taiwan's the
we're
same, yeah, yeah.
okay, okay, okay. Do
India's the
you think?
same, but India is a little bit mixed because in the middle of Russia and allies of Russia and America or the West in a way, but they're in a complicated spot.
Okay, okay, okay. Do you think that if we achieve interstellar travel, there will be something to trade with other civilizations?
Sure.
Like, do you think Dune will happen? You know, like,
hmm
they're like going from planet to planet, like trading things,
I think that's generally the reason that you are going to go out and do
branch
stuff.
out.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
always going to be about that.
Or is it human fascination? Is trade a human thing? You know what I mean? Because technically, why can't you just self-sustain on the planet? Maybe
Well,
there
we
is
were
no
able
need
to
to trade.
until we
You know what I mean?
forgot how to live on this planet.
But like, all right, let's say you release zero point energy, you won't need anything. Like, what other resources? So it's like,
No, you still need
will
food. What do you mean?
yeah, but like food, like what? We just grow it, like greenhouses. We have farms of like animals. Like it's not a big deal, you know.
hmm
Because like we still grow food, right?
Yeah.
But we just use like gas. So I'm wondering like
I
if we
guess
do
just to transport stuff. But yeah.
no, but like electricity, like plants,
Mm-hmm.
nuclear power plants.
That's nuclear. That's not gas.
Right, right, but there's a lifespan for nuclear though, because you have to change out the what do you call it?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
The you know what I mean? Like there's like
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
like the Pickering power plant's going through that right now. They have to like remodel everything or decommission it,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
right? So like if you release zero point energy, it's like okay, we won't need to worry. I wonder if maybe
Well, we don't know. Like this is the whole idea of we don't know what that 0 point energy means, right?
true. What if it's like huge radiation? We're like, oh crap, you know?
Yeah, like
True. That's
some
fair.
things. I remember something saying where like engineeringly it may be possible, but maybe on a big scale it's not possible. I don't know, right? Like on small
Okay, I see
things
what you
it
mean.
may work on these types of technologies, but like big scale, how do you? Is it possible to transport that energy across to the power lines or like you know what I'm saying? That's a different. You're looking at a whole different infrastructure and stuff. How to build that, or is it even possible with that kind of energy, right?
Right. Okay, yeah, fair. Okay, let's say
That's what
it
there's
works
like
out
we
in
know
our
like the
favor.
like fission or fusion like those are like the ones that are that we know of that they're actually working
Right,
on
like,
and trying to
all right,
figure out.
let's say they crack cold fusion.
Hmm.
They crack it. Okay, cool. Now we don't have to worry about energy. I'm wondering if like it's not about like is it Dune or is it Star Trek? Because Dune is like we trade. Star Trek is like Dune to me is like that's like human characteristics just on a galactic scale.
I
You're like,
think
oh, I'm gonna go
it's
here, or is it like Star Trek where they're just like venturing out for the sake of exploration? And that scene where
mm,
he's like, well, what do you guys do? Remember that scene
I
where he's
would
like, well, what do you guys do?
say no, no, I get
He's like, we
that.
just self actualize.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of both. That's what the
Because
International
like we
Space
don't,
Station's about. There's
right?
nothing to do
Yeah,
with trade in there. There is
that's what
just
I'm saying. There's
science,
no
right?
trade. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
But I think both will be the case. I don't see why you would
Oh,
have
it'll
to
be like,
choose one or the other. I
true.
think you
I
can
see what
do
you're saying.
both.
It's like, oh, we have this resource. You're like, oh, I didn't even know I could use that. Oh, maybe it'll work on my planet too.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I just wonder if it's like
I just think it's both. I don't. Cause we're doing both right now.
the only reason why I brought that up is because like that could be a detriment galactically. Like then you're like vying for power between like if like
Hmm.
planet A and planet B are competing with you for a sale, there's going to be like some animosity there.
Right.
Like I just wonder how a galactic organization would work. It's like is trade the heart of it or is like
We don't know.
self-actualization the
We don't
heart
know.
of
I
it?
mean, this is the only our brain only understands trade at the moment. So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, yeah, exactly. Because we've never had a time in our lives where everything was abundant. You
hmm
know, you're just like, we don't need anything. We just want to say what's up, bro. We'll share art. Art's cool.
right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Which is what we don't really spend money on right now. So I don't.
Art?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, what do you
Like
mean?
our
What?
like our more focus is on business or this thing. So that's all our focus is towards trade.
Exactly. Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
That's what I mean. Like people that do art, we view them as like, why are you doing art? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's like commerce for art, though. You can like buy tickets, to go see shows.
Yeah, but
But
then
I wonder,
but the
yeah.
money came from trade, right? How are you gonna get the money?
No, totally. Yeah, 100% agree. Yeah. So maybe that's like the timeline. Like if you look at it, maybe that's the timeline of like humanity as a whole. You start off with war because you want like your base needs met, like Maslow's hierarchy, right? You're like, oh, I need like food, water, shelter. So we're
Mm.
all fighting for food, water, shelter. Then you're like fighting for who owns the money that manages food, water, shelter. And then once you get rid of money and resources, like the necessity for money and resources, maybe we just create art for art's sake.
Hmm.
And maybe that's like our like highest point because like the ultimate self-actualization is like understanding yourself and like expressing yourself. So like what if everything was covered? We would just be like self-actualizing the whole time.
Yeah, but that means everybody has to be on that same equal ground,
No, for sure. Yeah.
right?
But I'm saying like
Because
let's say
if
they solve all those problems.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
is that where we're headed? You know what I mean? Like maybe that's the trajectory of the human species. Like our highest like
well, I think
point,
so. I think
you
that's
know?
the idea of what heaven is, but heaven is meant to
Right?
be.
We're all just like Buddhas,
Yeah.
like just like, yeah, it's all chill, bro. Don't worry.
Hmm.
Like if you look at it, like that's the only thing that makes sense. Like we had to fight for food, water, shelter. Okay, now we're fighting for the management of food, water, shelter. So that's trade. And then if you get rid of trade and
I mean, it makes sense. We've
resources,
been doing it like that, and it's been getting, like, if you compare it to even 100 years ago, we're progressively much more better off.
yeah, right. And now the global system seems to be more about trade versus like war,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Like let's go
Oh yeah,
60 years
yeah,
ago
yeah.
with
That's the
World War
whole
II.
idea of doing the global thing. Before it wasn't global. By making it global is more focused on
We
trade
rely on
instead
one
of war.
another.
Yeah,
Yeah,
instead of war. Yeah.
yeah. And then if everyone is resource abundant, so you don't have to worry about like
Well, everything was a learning thing,
nutrients
right?
being.
So like everything was working fine until some issue with COVID, then realized we can't give all the manufacturing to China to spread that out.
Yeah,
So it's a little bit
yeah,
easier to
totally.
deal with. So these are the things that but it's all about trade, and it's instead of war, right?
Yeah, right. Like I
Yeah.
feel like the military industrial complex is going to die out eventually. We
Hmm.
won't need that.
Hmm.
Because like, all right, so everyone's like, oh, the military industrial complex builds cities. Okay, sure. So you take over the entire world, you build cities. Now what? Why you need the military? Like you've conquered everything. You have infrastructure everywhere on Earth.
Yeah.
So now
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
trade,
Right.
right?
Hmm. That's what it was
And
for
then
many many years now. But then there's sometimes some issues happen with certain countries, like Germany's trying
get out of
to,
hand.
which is their, it's not immediate neighbor, but neighbor with Russia. Uh, the issues around there, that's what's causing them to look at uh, doing that military thing with 18-year-olds, right? To
Oh,
uh,
okay.
pilot this program where they would have to join the army or something.
Oh, interesting.
That's
Okay.
starting to happen next year or the year after for
Oh,
Germany,
dang. Okay. Okay. Interesting.
which they had stopped for a long time because trade was good.
Right. When you go back to scarcity, you have to bring back the army
Hmm.
because now we're worried about food, water, shelter.
Right.
We need weapons, bro,
Yeah.
to manage our food, water, shelter.
Hmm.
Maybe that's what they mean when they're like, you're like at a lower frequency because you're like, why are you thinking about food, water, shelter, bro? Like obviously it's our base need, but like
Sure. Yeah.
if that's covered, you're like just express yourself,
Hmm.
find yourself,
Hmm.
But maybe that's also what the control mechanism is. It's like we need to create those crazy debt enslavement things like the property tax that we were talking about.
Hmm.
Like maybe you need to create this debt in order to keep everyone in a lower frequency of like fear, which is like food, water, shelter. How am I going to make ends meet, bro? But if
Right.
you get rid of that fear, it's like, okay, well, what's the next thing on that ladder?
Hmm.
We're moving up towards self-actualization,
Yeah, I think so. Eventually. Yeah.
right? Yeah. But they don't, but that's the spiritual battle. They don't want you to self-actualize. They're like secret they,
Sure. Of
the
course.
evil
Yeah.
they.
Maybe.
You know
Maybe
what I mean?
because
Like,
yeah. Yeah. I understand that. Yeah. Like
because
it's both.
keeping them in power.
Exactly. Yeah. Or they're afraid of what we'll do when we do have power to them.
Right? Yeah. We're like, oh, that's a stupid system. Like, why are you guys doing that?
Hmm.
They're like, oh, but that's how we buy these $1 zillion yachts and like
Hmm.
whatever. Yeah. You like can hit a point where you can make so much money on interest that you can't outspend it. Like billionaires. Like that's
Hmm.
what Gary Stevenson's thing is. It's like if you're a billionaire or like if you have like $100 million in the bank, you can't outspend your interest that you're making. So why do you have so much money, bro?
Right.
And it's like, but that's a very select few. Like that seems greedy.
Sure.
That's the spiritual battle, bro. That's the spiritual battle.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what we're in now. And hopefully, Michael the archangel comes up, slays Satan, and we just ride on Jesus's coattails into heaven. Yeah.
He's coming back,
All right.
right? So.
He's hopefully you got to fix this thing because that's what they thought the 3-eye atlas was, at Jesus' return. Seriously.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. Some Christians, they're like, Jesus come back. I don't think so, bro.
I mean, like, yeah, there's a lot of craziness or different kinds of cults and groups out there that believe in different things.
Wait a minute. Wait. If you want Jesus to come back, why don't you just have Jesus? Wait, hold on. If you want Jesus to come back, why don't you invite Jesus into your heart and then just be more like Jesus? That we're all just like,
Maybe that's what he was saying. Actually, man.
he's like, I'm gonna come back in your heart, bro, so that you can manifest me into life.
Hmm.
Yeah. Oh wait. Final thing. This actually reminds me of like Jesus thing. This is gonna sound so trippy, and like Tara didn't get it. I'm like just gonna throw it your way. It's just I was just thinking about this, but like, what if when you sleep, you know when you dream and you're like, oh, I can achieve anything.
Sure.
Okay. So when you go to sleep, wouldn't it be so crazy if that's your like highest self trying to remind you what to do in your waking life?
Hmm.
Like it's like the when you go to sleep, like your dream state is like you being like I can achieve anything, whatever, right? And then like when you wake up, you're like trying to remember like I need to achieve everything. I need to be a good person. I need to whatever, you know? And it's like it's trying to push itself out into your real world. Because we don't know what happens when you dream, you know what I'm saying? But like that would be so trippy if like because there's something inside of us that's like a call. I
Right.
should probably do that. You know what I mean? Like, but what is that call, bro?
Hmm. Right.
Yeah. That's a weird analogy, but I was just like, I was thinking about that because I was
Hmm.
like, we don't know what we do when we dream, but we know that dreaming is like our highest state. You know, it was like, oh, he's a daydreamer. He has like all these aspirations, whatever. And it's like, yeah, it's because you know what I mean?
Okay.
Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
yeah, yeah,
Is
yeah.
that crazy?
Uh,
It's weird.
no, I don't think there's
Or
nothing
is that
weird
like
about that. It's your own
is
personal
that like,
perception or
or is
understanding.
that similar to like the Jesus in my heart type of thing where I gotta like invite Jesus into my heart and then be like
Could
Jesus
be.
to everyone
Could be.
rather than waiting for him to come back? Why don't you just actualize him right now, bro?
Hmm. Some people feel like it does come to them.
That's what I'm saying, bro. And
Yeah.
just be a nice person.
Yeah.
That's how I'll end this. Yeah.
Hmm.
Fight the spiritual battle and be a nice person. Yeah.
Yes.
Till next time. Some people got some mind demons though. You just see it, you're like, ooh, that's a demon, bro. You know what I mean? You're like, ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, pray. Let Jesus in your heart. Fight those mind demons and the world will be a better place. Amen.
Yes.
Until next week. Take it easy, Vish.
Later.
Bye. All right, I hope you enjoyed that episode. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, all those fun things, and check out our sponsors, Zenro Clothing Co., Portian Bakery, and Podbean. Take it easy, Vish.
Peace.